Thanos, the Mad Titan, biggest threat to the universe, the Purple People Purger, terror to Earth, and the Avengers, and the Guardians, and all your favorite heroes. And he comes with the ball sackiest looking shin you're ever gonna see. But today, well, he's going up against somebody the likes of which he's probably never seen before. A villain who's just as powerful as him, just as strong, just as tough, but more importantly, just as ruthless. In fact, Omni-Man might even be more savage than Thanos, if something like that is even possible. So, who's coming out on top here? Who's going to win in the battle arena? Well, let's get into it. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to DanCo with the notifications on. We always really appreciate the support. Thanos is like the preeminent villain in the MCU, the most powerful being in the universe. His strength is unrivaled. He's the toughest there is. And he stacked up quite the impressive resume over the years. He's been around for thousands of years, fought everyone across the cosmos and back, and won them all. He's conquered countless worlds by himself. Absolutely nothing is standing in his way. He's basically like Genghis Khan on a galactic scale, just this insane warlord who's conquering just about everything in sight. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it, nothing anybody can do to stop him. Doctor Strange peeked into the future, and he saw every single possible outcome in their fight against Thanos. All 14 million of them. And Thanos beat the Sorcerer Supreme, the Avengers, and the Guardians every single time. Except for just one. That's just a statistical anomaly at that point. That's what we're dealing with here. Even if they had managed to get the Infinity Gauntlet off of him, even if Star-Lord hadn't lost it, they would have still lost. I mean, Thanos trashed half the universe without the stones, going from planet to planet and slaughtering all of them. He was going to beat the living daylights out of the Avengers, stones or no stones. Just his very presence demands respect. But while Thanos is out there conquering worlds and civilizations all on his own, Omni-Man is a part of the greatest conquering empire that stretches across the whole galaxy, the Viltrumites. And he's one of the best of them. Like he was given the task of clearing out the Earth on the way for an invasion. And let me tell you, he did a pretty good job at doing that. So yeah, how would it play out if Omni-Man was on Earth standing in Thanos' way? They're both pretty dead set on their goals. You know a fight is coming. It's inevitable. Who's going to pull this one off? Well, for starters, Thanos is really strong. Like, really strong. I mean, basically, no one can beat him in a one-on-one fight. A lot of them have tried. Some of them have gotten some good hits in, but they've all fallen. Each and every last one of them. Except if you've got chaos magic, I guess, or cosmic powers, or just a hoo-ha. Those seem to be his kryptonite for some reason. But seriously, Thanos went through a freaking gauntlet of heroes, beat each and every last one of them. He trashed Hulk, just absolutely destroyed the big green guy. And Hulk is the same guy who can one-shot Leviathans, create earthquakes when he steps, take a whole bombardment from Chitauri. He can even knock around Surtur when he was the size of a mountain. Thanos beat that guy easy. He beat Iron Man, when right before that, Tony got hit with a freaking meteor from outer space and didn't go down. He overpowered Thor and did it again and again and again. I mean, props to Thor for getting back up, but he was getting beat by Thanos every time. And Thor restarted the Forge, moved around the rings of Nidavellir, something that required hundreds of thousands of tons of force and power. Then he fought Captain Marvel, and he overpowered her too, sent her flying. The same girl who could do this. And then when he was wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, and I mean, you saw what that thing did to Hulk, right? Well, he was able to hold her back again with just one arm. He's torn through Captain America's shield, crushed the Tesseract in the palm of his hand, ripped through vibranium, and plucked the Mind Stone straight from Vision's forehead. Thanos is ridiculously strong. Seriously, you don't want to cross this guy. You just don't. You're gonna get destroyed. But, of course, you're not Omni-Man. And I don't think any of these heroes are quite like Omni-Man either. I mean, just for starters, the guy is the strongest superhero on Earth. And I use the word hero there very loosely. Very loosely. Don't really see many heroes doing stuff like this. He's able to punch straight through the Immortal's chest and snap War Woman's neck. These are the two heavy hitters for Earth's greatest superhero team. Nolan then did it again, punched straight through Immortal and karate chopped him in half. Just imagine if Thanos was that ruthless with the Avengers. That would have been a way different movie. Omni-Man has said before that he stopped an asteroid the size of Texas, which would be like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tons. Then lifted up this massive boulder, which, based on some math that I found online, was around 500,000 tons. And he was lifting it with just one hand. Omni-Man freaking bodied the Reaniman, who nearly killed Invincible, and he just tore right through them. He knocked around a massive kaiju monster that was hopped up on all sorts of drugs and steroids, and was humanity's last shot at beating him. Then there was his fight against Invincible. The guy was sending Mark flying miles and miles with every single punch. Bull rushes him through streets and down to the ocean floor, sent the kid flying clean through skyscrapers and into mountains. Like just absolutely no chill whatsoever. And this was against his own son. And Omni-Man was holding back because he didn't want to kill Mark. Actually trying to win Mark over to his side. So if this was Omni-Man restraining himself, just imagine what he's going to do against Thanos. So yeah, safe to say, both of them are really strong. It's also safe to say that it's going to be pretty hard for them to injure each other though. Both of them are real tough. I mean, Omni-Man is insanely durable. No selling laser blast, just standing there like it was nothing, waiting for the smoke to clear so that he can look just as intimidating as humanly possible. He's taking attacks from all the Guardians, Earth's premier superhero team, took attacks from all of them, was still able to kill all of them. And he took absolutely everything that Cecil could throw at him. I'm talking Reaniman, nuclear lasers, straight up nuclear lasers, and even a giant monster that was knocked up on all sorts of super steroids and everything. He went up against Immortal, who was trying to kill him. Again, went about the same as the first time. Immortal wasn't able to do much. Then in his fight against Invincible, while Mark tried to punch him, and Nolan didn't even move, didn't even budge. Just looked at Mark and let him know that he had just made the worst mistake of his life. You want to talk about being tough? That's being tough. But honestly, for everything that Thanos has been through, he's almost like more than just tough. He was able to take fire and take explosions, attack some Iron Man as a repulsor blast, energy blast, and the whole like. Even lightning from Mjolnir and lightning from Stormbreaker. Then he took Scarlet Witch's chaos magic. Then there's just using the Infinity Gauntlet and performing those snaps. I mean, the gauntlet itself is channeling enough energy where it'd be able to light up a whole continent. Thanos was still able to put this thing on, then go on and continue fighting against Captain Marvel. So it's pretty crazy to be able to just put it on, but it also requires an immense amount of strength to actually snap it. Hulk was the only one who was going to be strong enough to use it. Thor couldn't do it. Captain Marvel couldn't do it. It literally killed Iron Man when he did it. Hulk was the only one. And Thanos? Well, he did it twice. He was sending out energy surges of cosmic proportions, the kind no one had ever seen before. And while he did manage to injure Thanos, he still snapped twice. He was able to walk right through the Hulk, right through Thor. Took attacks from Captain America, from Captain Marvel, from all the Avengers, from all the Guardians, from all of them. Thanos is easily the toughest fighter in the MCU. He's dang near impossible for any hero to put down. But here's the thing, Omni-Man, well, he's no hero, and he's going to use every advantage that he has in order to beat Thanos. And one of those advantages is his super speed. Like, Omni-Man is insanely fast, like so fast. He caught Red Rush mid-blitz, who's basically like their Flash. He's the fastest man in the world, and Omni-Man caught him. Omni-Man straight up killed him. He can fly from Earth to space in seconds, literally just seconds. And compared to Invincible, who's also pretty freaking fast, well, Mark was literally moving in slow motion. You put all this together, and Omni-Man was able to go up against the Flaxans, a superhuman, super advanced alien race. And he was just overpowering them, blitzing them all over the place, wiped out all the infrastructure on the planet with his strength and his speed. Omni-Man is something else. He is so much of a threat. And he's also just brutal, just absolutely savage. Like, the dude just has no chill, balls to the wall the whole time. He's truly got no morals whatsoever. The only line he didn't cross was killing his own son. Even then, he came pretty freaking close. And like I said, if he was doing that against Mark, if he was doing that to his own son, imagine what he's willing to do against Thanos. But of course, Thanos has a few little advantages of his own. For starters, he might very well just be the greatest fighter in the universe. With a combination of his power and his skill, Thanos is pretty much unbeatable in a fight. He's a world conqueror, a better fighter than anyone else around him. And he's got one of the best weapons out there too. His double-bladed sword was probably crafted by Eitri in a Devalier, and is able to slice it clean through anything, even cutting right through Captain America's vibranium shield. But even with that, well, I don't think it's really going to be enough to overcome the onslaught from Omni-Man. I wouldn't put it past Omni-Man to kill Thanos with his own sword. In the comics, Thanos absolutely stomps here. He probably wipes out not just Nolan, but the entire Viltrumite race. Just turns him into paste, turns him into nothing, straight dust him. But here in this fight, with the version from the MCU, well, it's a different story. Omni-Man is probably a bit stronger, he's probably tougher, but more importantly, he's just faster. He's just more bloodthirsty. He's just more savage. Nolan will rip Thanos limb from limb, not even think twice about it. Yeah, Thanos is a conquering warlord too. He's killed some people in his day, sure, but he's never run into a ferocity quite like this. Omni-Man wins.